Hi guys, and welcome back to Solo English TV. Glad to see you're here again. What we're going to do today is I will give you my top 5 tips to improve your English and speak more like a native English speaker. Alright, so we'll jump straight into it, and at number 5, it's great that you're doing it right now. It is using all of the great content and following the great teachers that are on YouTube and other platforms, and following their English lessons every day. There's so much content now out there from English teachers from all over the world, and the great thing about it is that you can watch it at your convenience. These lessons are free generally, and if you don't get something the first time around, you can just skip back and do it again. Obviously, when learning English, there's no rush. There shouldn't be a rush to learn English. When you go into a lesson sometimes and you've paid for that lesson, and it's like an hour long, if you miss something, maybe there's not time to go back, or it's, if there's other people in the class, we've got to cater for everybody. Whereas these online English lessons, they're personal to you. You can just keep watching them over and over again. If you don't understand something, go back, watch it again. And the great thing is that all these lessons are, on the whole, they are free most of the time. So that would be my number 5 tip, which is, watch these free YouTube videos. And not just me, but there are great teachers online that are willing to help you improve your English and speak more like a native speaker. So on to number 4. Number 4 is choose English entertainment when you've got some free time. So for example, if you are at home in the evening and you think, oh, I'll watch a film. Maybe you watch a film in your native language, like Spanish or French or German or Italian or any language you like, right? Instead of watching it in your native language, switch on an English movie. Switch on an English CD if you're cooking, put an English CD on instead of a CD, or instead of music that you listen to. I say CD, it makes me sound really old, but make sure you've got loads of English songs or English movies on your home computer or TV, whatever, and use those instead of listening to music or watching movies in your own language. That extra hour or extra hour and a half every couple of days that you do that is going to build up over time, and it's going to help you greatly improve your English listening skills. On to number 3, and number 3 is learn 1 or 2 English phrases or English idioms every week. I'd say 1 or 2 a week is enough to go by, and then try and use those idioms in your everyday conversations when you meet a native speaker. For example, I've just released a video a couple of days ago, I think, about the idiom a piece of cake. Now, if you didn't know this idiom already, you can go back and watch that video, and it will explain to you exactly what a piece of cake means, right? I'll give you a little hint. It means that something is easy. So you could say, running a marathon is a piece of cake, or not, depending if you're good at running. But just learning 1 or 2 of these idioms and phrases every week and trying to use them in your everyday conversation will really help you sound more like a native English speaker. On to number 2, and this is a really important one, and it is using English reading materials. Reading, I find, is one of the best ways that we can learn new vocabulary. Even as a native English speaker, when I read books, there are often words that I am unsure of, or I don't particularly know that well. Although I know how the word sounds, I haven't used them too much. So I will always keep a dictionary with me. If you've got an iPad or a Kindle or something like that, you can also, a lot of the time now, click on the word and it will bring up the meaning of the word. Don't rush when you read. It's very easy to sort of skip over words if you don't understand them, if you get the context of the whole page or of the story. It's very easy to skip over those individual words that you don't understand, and you'll still understand the story. But if you don't skip over those words and you go and take the time to look up that word and then maybe use that word in a sentence of your own when you meet some native English speakers. So there's my number 2, which is read English material. And now on to the most important one, my number 1 tip for learning English and speaking like a native English speaker, and that is the obvious one: practice. Practice, practice, practice. So it is an old saying, practice makes perfect, but it is probably the most important part of learning anything new. If you're learning piano or you're learning a new sport, the more you practice, the better you will become. I would say with English, make sure you take a little bit of time each day. It's better to do a small amount of practice every day than do, let's say, 5 hours practice 1 day per week. It's better to do 30 minutes or even an hour if you have time every day, and that in that way you won't forget as much. Whereas if you do a big bulk of practice sort of on a Sunday night or on a Monday morning, well, the next week, if you don't practice any more during that week, you may have forgotten it. So I would say that doing a small amount of practice every day is better than doing just one bulk, sort of real in-depth English learning per week. But yeah, practice, 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 and don't be afraid to get things wrong either. It happens to all of us. Just keep going. You know, I'm currently learning the piano and I'm always getting things wrong. I'm always hitting a wrong note or out of time or something like that. But the more you practice and the more consistently you practice, the better you'll become. So I'm wishing you all the best on your English language learning journey. Let me know in the comments any queries or questions that you have for me. I'll try to answer them the best I can. You can always leave me questions and everything like that in the comments of these videos. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, and it'd be great to hear from you. So if you do like this video and you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you'd like to learn English with me every day. Alright, so thank you so much for dropping by, and it's great to see you again, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you later.